There's a shoebox on my kitchen table. It's 2 in the morning. The house is so quiet I can hear the refrigerator humming like it's the only thing in this place still breathing. There's a single light above me, one of those old overhead fixtures, and it buzzes. It flickers every now and then like even it's tired of being here. My hands are shaking, not from cold, not from age, from what's inside this box. It's full of tapes, little mini cassette tapes from an answering machine I kept for 30 years. And underneath those, a phone. An old phone with saved voicemails I never deleted. I never deleted them because I never listened to them. Not when they mattered. Not when they were being left by a small boy who just wanted to know if his father was coming home. I'm 63 years old, and tonight, right now, at this table, I am about to listen to my son fall out of love with me. Not all at once. That's not how it happens. It happens in messages, one after another, year after year. His voice getting older, his words getting shorter, his hope getting quieter, until there's nothing left but a tape with no recording on it. Just dead air. Just the sound of a boy who finally stopped asking. If you're watching this and you chose work today over someone who wanted your time, I need you to stay. I need you to listen. Because this box, this shoebox right here, it's not just mine. One just like it is being filled for you right now. You just don't know it yet. Let me press play. But first, let me tell you how I got here. Let me tell you about the lie I swallowed whole and called it ambition. When I was 32, I was untouchable. I believed that. Sharp suit every morning, corner office with windows on 2 sides. The kind of office where people knocked before entering. I had a firm handshake and a ruthless calendar, and I was convinced, I mean truly convinced in my bones, that I was doing it all for my family. See, my father was a broke man. A kind man, sure. He was around. He was always around. But he couldn't pay for my school shoes. He couldn't fix the car. He sat at the dinner table with love in his eyes and nothing in his wallet, and I swore on everything I had that my son would never feel that. My son would have everything, every advantage, every opportunity, every door open before he even got to it. That was the lie. The lie was that providing is the same as loving. The lie was that a check with your name on it is the same as showing up. And I didn't just believe it, I built my entire life around it. I worked 16-hour days. Not sometimes, not during busy seasons, every day, for 30 years. I took the red-eye flights. I made the conference calls on Saturday mornings from hotel rooms in cities I can't even remember now. I smelled like airport coffee and dry clean shirts. That was my scent. Not grass, not backyard barbecue smoke, not the rubber of a playground. I smelled like terminals and boardrooms and the leather seats of rental cars. And you want to know the worst part? People praised me for it. My colleagues shook my hand. My boss called me a machine. A machine. And I took that as a compliment. I wore exhaustion like a medal. I thought being tired meant I was being a good man. Meanwhile, my wife was packing my son's lunch every morning with little handwritten notes tucked inside the bag. I didn't know that until years later. She wrote things like, "You're my sunshine," and "Dad loves you so much." She signed my name to notes I never wrote. She covered for me. She filled in the gap I left behind every single morning when I walked out that door before he woke up and came home after he was asleep. I equated presence with laziness. I looked at fathers who left work at 5 and thought they were soft. I thought they lacked drive. I thought I was the one doing it right. I was the one doing it the most wrong. Because now I sit in a fully paid-off house, 4 bedrooms, finished basement, crown molding, a backyard with a patio I built myself on one of my rare weekends off. And this house is so quiet, so painfully, mercilessly quiet, that I can hear my own heartbeat at night. And some nights, that's the loneliest sound in the world. Provision without presence, that's what I gave. A funded absence, a bankrolled ghost. Now let me play you these tapes. The first one. My son is 5 years old, 5, and his voice comes through that tiny speaker like a crack of sunlight through a window. He's out of breath. He's almost screaming with excitement. "Daddy! Daddy, I scored a goal today! I kicked it so hard and it went in the net, and Coach said I did so good. Are you coming home? Mummy said you might come home early. Are you coming? I want to show you how I kicked it. I can show you in the backyard. Okay, Daddy? Come home, okay? I love you, Daddy." I sat at this table and I heard that, and I put my hand over my mouth, because the sound that came out of me wasn't even a sound a man should make. That was 30 years ago. He called me Daddy. He wanted to show me how he kicked a ball, and I don't remember where I was that night. I don't know what meeting I was in. I don't know what deal I was closing. I cannot tell you a single thing about what I was doing that was more important than watching that boy kick a ball in the backyard. But I wasn't there, and the tape kept spinning. Age 8. His voice is a little older now, still warm, still reaching for me. But there's something different, something measured, like he's learned to not get too excited, because excitement leads to disappointment. "Hey, Dad, I have a baseball game on Saturday. It's at 10. Mom said she'd tell you, but I wanted to tell you too. It'd be cool if you came. Okay, bye." No Daddy anymore, just Dad. No begging, just information. An 8-year-old boy delivering a calendar invite like a little secretary, because he'd already learned that wild excitement doesn't bring his father home. Politeness might. Brevity might. Maybe if I make it easy for him, he'll show up. I didn't show up. Age 11. The voice is flatter now. Not sad, not angry, just flat. Like a boy who's learning to expect nothing, so he's never let down. "Hey, I have a thing at school on Thursday. An awards ceremony. Mom's coming. You can come if you want. It's fine either way. Bye." If you want. It's fine either way. An 11-year-old boy just told his father that his presence is optional, and he meant it. Not because he didn't care, but because he'd been taught by me, by my absence, by every missed game and every empty chair, that asking for me was an exercise in disappointment. So he stopped investing in it. He gave me an out. He made it easy for me to say no, and I took that easy road every single time. Age 14. This one barely qualifies as a message. Mom said to call her back about this weekend. That's it, 7 words. No greeting, no dad, no request, no hope, just a relay. He'd become a messenger between his mother and a man who lived in the same house, but existed in a different world. I was a name on the mortgage. I was footsteps he sometimes heard at midnight. I was a coat hanging by the door that appeared and disappeared like a ghost's wardrobe. Age 16. I put the next tape in. I pressed play. Nothing. Static. A click. Then silence. Then the machine cuts off. He called. He pressed the button, and he hung up without saying a word. I like to think he stood there with the phone in his hand, maybe for a few seconds, maybe longer, and thought about what to say. And then he realized he had nothing left to say. Not because he was angry, but because the line between us had gone dead long before he hung up that phone. After 16, there are no more tapes. The box just stops. No dramatic confrontation, no slammed doors, no screaming, no tears, no moment where he looked me in the eye and said, "You were never there." That would have been easier. That would have given me something to hold on to, something to argue with, something to fight. But my son didn't fight me. He just released me. Quietly. Completely. Like letting go of a balloon you've stopped believing will come back down. That silence at the end of the box, that empty space where a tape should be, that's the verdict. Every message before it was evidence. The silence is the ruling. Guilty. Guilty of being absent in the presence of a boy who needed nothing more than for me to walk through the door and stay. Now let me tell you what that silence sounds like when it grows up. My son is 31 now. He's a good man. He's polite. He's professional. He's everything I trained him to be without ever meaning to. He's self-sufficient. He doesn't need anyone. He certainly doesn't need me. He sends a text on holidays. Short, clean. "Happy Thanksgiving, Dad. Hope you're well." That's it. I stare at that text for hours. I type back long messages and then delete them and just send, "You too, son." Because what else do I say? What words exist for a man who missed everything and wants to say that now, 30 years too late? I invite him to dinner. He declines, always politely, always with a reason that sounds real enough. Work's been busy. We've got plans that weekend. Maybe next month. Next month never comes. He calls on my birthday. 4 minutes. Exactly 4 minutes. I've timed it. He asks how I'm doing. I say fine. He says good. There's a pause that stretches like a canyon. And then he says, well, I just wanted to say happy birthday. And he's gone. Last year he got married. I was there. I was seated, 3rd row, not standing beside him, not giving a speech. He asked a man named Richard to speak at the reception. Richard was his mentor at work. Richard, who apparently took him to lunch every Wednesday for 3 years. Richard, who showed up. Richard, who was present. I sat in that chair and I watched another man stand where I should have stood, and I smiled because what else could I do? I clapped when everyone else clapped. I shook Richard's hand afterward and said, thank you for being there for my son. And Richard looked at me with these kind, knowing eyes and said, he's a wonderful young man. And I wanted to say, I know. But the truth is, I don't know. I don't know him. I funded his life. I don't know his favorite song. I don't know what he eats when he's sad. I don't know if he sleeps with the window open or closed. I built a finished basement in this house, put in new carpet, a big TV, a little play area in the corner with a toy bin. I told myself it was for the grandkids, for when they come visit. But no one visits. The toys are still in the packaging. The carpet has never been stepped on by small feet. It's a museum of a future I assumed I'd earned just because I paid for the house it sits in. Every night I go to that shoebox, and I play the first tape, the one where he's 5, the one where he says, Daddy, are you coming home? I love you, Daddy. And I sit there in the dark kitchen, and I let that voice fill the room, because that's the last time my son's voice reached for me with both hands. That's the last time he believed, fully believed, that I might walk through that door. That excitement, that breathless, screaming joy, that is a sound I can no longer earn. No amount of money, no retirement, no apology, no finished basement will ever make a 31-year-old man sound like that again. Now I'm going to talk to you. Not around you, not past you, to you. The one watching this at midnight with your phone in your hand while your kid sleeps down the hall. The one who tells yourself, I'm doing this for them. The one who missed the recital but closed the deal. The one who promised Saturday and then gave an excuse on Friday night. You think you're building something? Let me tell you what you're actually doing. You're not building, you're excavating. You're digging a hole between you and someone who loves you, and you're filling it with money and calling it a foundation. It's not a foundation, it's a grave. And you're burying a relationship in it one missed moment at a time. Your kid is not going to remember your square footage. They're not going to remember the car you drove or the title on your business card. They are going to remember the chair. The empty chair at the school play, the empty chair at the dinner table, the empty chair at the game where every other kid had someone screaming their name, and your kid had a saved seat with a jacket draped over it. That chair is your legacy right now. Not the company, not the portfolio, the chair. So here's what I need you to do. Tonight, not tomorrow, not next weekend, not when the project wraps up. Tonight. Put the phone down, walk down that hallway, open their door. If they're awake, ask them one question about their day, and then close your mouth and listen. If they're asleep, sit on the edge of that bed and just be there. Let them feel your weight beside them, even if they don't open their eyes. Because I promise you this, you will not get a dramatic goodbye. There will be no explosion, no final argument, no cinematic moment where your child screams, "You were never there for me." That's not how it happens. What happens is silence. It arrives so slowly you don't even hear it coming. One day the messages just stop. The asking stops. The hoping stops. And by the time you notice the quiet, it's been quiet for years. This shoebox right here, these tapes, This is the record of my son learning, message by message, that his father wasn't coming. And the last tape, the empty one, that's the moment he graduated from that lesson. I can't go back. I can't unlearn him what I taught him. I can't make him 5 again, breathless and believing. But you still can. Your box is being filled right now. Every time you say, not tonight. Every time you say, next time. Every time you choose the screen over the small voice asking you to come see something, a tape drops into that box. Go empty it, before it fills up, before the asking stops, before the silence comes and makes itself at home in every room of the big, beautiful, quiet house you worked so hard to pay for. Go, now, while there's still a voice on the other end waiting for yours.